Have you ever looked in the mirror recently and thought, where did those lines come from? Maybe your skin around your eyes suddenly looks thinner, your forehead feels that there's more lines on there, your face looks more tired, less plump, less you. And your first thoughts? Wrinkles. But what if I told you some of those lines aren't actually wrinkles at all? What if your face is trying to tell you something? Because after 40, fine lines can be messages. Messages about hydration, stress, hormones, tension, even digestion. And today I'm going to walk you through the 5 reasons you might suddenly be seeing lines after 40, and more importantly, what your skin may actually be asking you for. What looks like aging isn't always aging in the way we've been taught to think about it. Sometimes your skin is simply asking for something different. Some fine lines are actually dehydration lines. Now this one is such a big one because many women think I've suddenly got wrinkles when actually their skin is thirsty. And there's a really important difference between dry skin and dehydrated skin. Dry skin lacks oil, dehydrated skin lacks water. And in midlife, most women I see are dealing with dehydration, not dryness. During perimenopause and menopause, estrogen starts to decline. Estrogen isn't just about reproduction, it actually helps regulate moisture, collagen, and your skin's ability to hold hydration. And research shows that as estrogen drops, skin becomes thinner, drier, and less able to retain water, which means fine lines can suddenly appear more visible, sometimes almost overnight. In midlife, we enter into the Vata stage of life, and Vata is characterized by the qualities of dry, light, mobile, and it can create dryness in the skin, almost like a loss of juiciness. You might notice makeup suddenly sits differently. My eyes look more lined, skin feels tight. Here's the encouraging thing, dehydration lines often soften quickly. I've seen women panic thinking, oh no, I've suddenly aged. And actually after 2 weeks of deeper nourishment and hydration, their skin looks completely different. And this week, try adding more nourishment. Think warm oils, healthy fats, and notice what changes. But dehydration is only one piece of this, because the next reason fine lines suddenly appear, nobody was talking about a few years ago. You may have heard the phrase cortisol face, women noticing puffiness, heavy eyes, dullness, a tighter jaw, more visible lines. Not every skin change is cortisol, but stress absolutely affects the face. Research shows chronic stress impacts repair, inflammation, sleep quality, and even the skin's ability to regenerate. And honestly, I think many women in midlife are carrying more pressure than ever. Hormonal shifts, teenagers, parents, work, relationships. Stress doesn't only happen emotionally. We wear it physically. We wear it in the jaw, in the forehead, around the eyes, the mouth. Have you ever caught yourself clenching, holding your breath, frowning without realizing? These repeated tension patterns can absolutely make lines look more visible. Sometimes those lines aren't age, they're exhaustion. And I say that with so much compassion because your nervous system, it really matters. Your skin is listening to how safe your body feels. So let's just try a quick experiment. Just for a moment, relax your forehead completely. Take some deep breaths, unclench your jaw, let your tongue soften in your mouth. Now, can you feel the difference? This is why I love things like facial massage, breath work, warm evening rituals, even 5 quiet minutes before bed, because calm skin often begins with a calmer nervous system. Now, this next one, I think, is the reason many women suddenly feel like they don't recognize their face anymore. Face hasn't suddenly aged, it may have lost its cushioning. Everyone's talking about collagen, and yes, collagen does matter, but I want you to think about this differently. It's not that your face suddenly collapsed overnight. It might feel like it. It may simply have lost some of its inner cushioning. And research suggests women can lose up to 30% of skin collagen in the first 5 years after menopause. 30%, that's significant. But it's not only collagen. Estrogen also affects elasticity, hydration, skin thickness, the way your skin bounces, the plumpness, the softness. So many women describe it like that. My face changed overnight. And what they're often noticing is a loss of fullness, a little less support underneath. And this is where Ayurveda can really help, because Ayurveda speaks about ojas. And ojas is your deepest vitality, your inner nourishment, your glow. And in midlife, Ojas, it needs tending, it needs cultivating, it needs protecting, and above all, it needs rebuilding. And this is where nourishment matters. Protein, minerals, healthy fats, warm cooked foods, lots of rest, your beauty sleep, and supportive rituals. So less depletion, less rushing around, and more replenishment. Because your face, it's not just skin, it reflects what's happening deeper inside the body. And speaking of what's happening deeper, the next one is something hardly anybody talks about. Some fine lines are actually tension lines. And this one fascinates me because so many lines are actually habit lines, not wrinkles, habit. Think about your day, computer screens, squinting. Maybe you're squinting because your eyesight's going and you're having to squint to look at things. Concentration, stress, driving, looking at your phone. Your face has over 40 muscles. And if those muscles repeat the same movement day in, day out, patterns begin to form, especially in midlife when skin bounces back less easily. You know those forehead lines, the 11 lines, the tightness around your mouth? Sometimes that's stress physically imprinting on your body. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Try something with me. Massage your temples really gently. And now soften your jaw. Run your fingers gently up your forehead. Now, can you feel where you're holding on to the tension? That awareness alone, that changes things. And this is why I love, for example, the gua sha, facial massage, mama massage, jaw release, because sometimes the face doesn't need another product. Sometimes it needs movement, it needs circulation to be boosted, and it needs to release some tension. And then finally, the fifth reason is probably the one nobody expects. Sometimes it's inflammation and blood sugar, not age. Because what if some of what we call aging is actually inflammation? There's something called glycation. Excess sugar can make collagen become stiffer and less springy, which over time contributes to dullness, loss of glow, crepey skin, more visible lines. And this becomes especially important in midlife because blood sugar regulation often shifts in midlife. You may notice your energy crashes around 3 p.m. You've got the sugar cravings, mood swings, disrupted sleep. Ayurveda would describe this through Agni, digestive fire. When digestion is strong, we tend to look brighter, more vibrant, more alive. When digestion struggles, the skin often reflects that. But let me just stress this point. It's not about perfection or restriction or never eating cake again. Absolutely not. It's about nourishment again. We come back round to nourishment every time because more proteins, healthy fats, mineral-rich foods, blood sugar balance equals less depletion and more steady energy and, of course, brighter, more vibrant skin. So if you've been standing in front of the mirror lately thinking, what's happened to my face? I really want you to hear this. You're not suddenly falling apart. Your skin may be communicating. And maybe it's saying, I'm thirsty, I'm stressed, I need more nourishment, I'm holding too much tension, my body needs support. And honestly, I think there's something really beautiful about shifting from fixing ourselves to listening. So I'd love to know which one resonated with you the most out of those 5. Was it hydration? Was it stress, hormones, tension, or blood sugar? Tell me in the comments. I genuinely read them all. And if this helped you understand your skin a little more deeply, don't forget to subscribe because here at Magical Medicine, we're redefining what it means to age, not just beautifully, but wisely. See you in the next video.